Well, it was kind of a sad day, I thought, Rockstar. On Friday, we found out the news about Mike Williams being released by the Seahawks after 2 years. It was a great story, him coming out. It was really Pete Carroll, the first guy that he talked about bringing in, and you were wondering, geez, Mike Williams, the guy who squandered all that talent, but the guy who caught 100 passes, it seemed like, in college every year. Mm-hmm. He comes in, is terrific, of course, with Ben Hasselbeck the first year. A lot of injuries last year, doesn't really ever connected, didn't seem like, with Tavares Jackson. This year gained a little weight, but was I don't think we saw him work out at all, did we? At minicamp,
he could because of his injury. He was rehabbing and he was on the sidelines watching, like a lot of other guys were.
Yeah, and we had the sense. I mean, you had the sense that boy, he's going to have to get in there and do something, or they're not going to stick around with him. And part of it is, I think, what we're talking about here. This is one of the positions where, okay, some still feel they're missing a main guy, a breakaway guy, but otherwise, there's a lot of depth here.
Yeah, there are people that can jump in and they have the opportunity to prove whether they belong on this roster or not. I mean, you've got Chris Durham, you've got Ben Obamanu, who's already kind of proven himself. You've got Deion Butler. Golden Tate is another guy that I feel like is in a position to kind of prove himself because Doug Baldwin became what he was supposed to be. So you've got guys, and Ricardo Lockett, who's the speedster, who needs to prove that he's got good hands and can do things game in, game out. So you've got guys within your system already that are going to be afforded an opportunity because Mike Williams isn't there. And yeah, it is sad, by the way. I mean, he's one of the best college wide receivers I've ever seen. He's got some of the best hands, making brilliant catches, if you remember his time in USC. And he's a great guy, so you root for him, you root for the best, and hopefully catches on with somebody. I was just surprised at the timing. Because
I guess it was salary cap related or something like that. It sounded like we were talking with John Clayton.
Right, and you can check out what Clayton had to say about him on the podcast on the 710sports.com page. But he, maybe it did have something to do with getting Clemens signed, and they needed that flexibility with the salary cap. The timing was odd because there were a lot of guys at minicamp that weren't participating, and Golden Tate being one of them because of injuries. I figured if they're going to make a move, it would be in training camp. Let's see where he's at. Let's see how he's progressing. But so the timing was a little odd. And he's a guy you and I spent a lot of time talking about after the season, saying, all right, he's not an automatic coming back. I don't know that either one of us are surprised that he's not on the team. It's more the timing because he just felt like he had something to prove because people were asking the questions. All right, he got his money. Is he reverting back to form? Is he reverting back to the guy that got drafted that didn't care? I don't think that's the case. I just don't know that he could get healthy quick enough.
Well, I think one of the things here, another way to look at this, the sense of timing here, is they're doing him a favor. I mean, this is what you do for a guy who you like. It's like, we'll let you go now. It's a couple of weeks outside of training camp. You can go ahead and try out for a few teams and try and hook on. It's easier to hook on now than it would be after training camp has started. But either way, no Mike Williams here. Good luck to him in the future.